It was cool in 2007, and it's still cool now. Mario and Sonic in a game, together. This is just my childhood dream come true. Though my childhood dream had them in a slightly different scenario. But this series is at least something. This series is also on its 4th installment now. Eee. But this one has the potential to be different. You know, it's on a new HD system, Motion Plus is pretty much the standard now, and it can also potentially offer an awesome online experience. What's wrong, John?
There's just so much tilting and waggling.
Oh boy. It's Mario and Sonic.
At the SOCHI 2014 Olympic Winter Games!
Now, first of all, this game has something big going for it. It's the first Wii U game to show the Mario roster rendered in 3D, and they look stunning. The Sonic roster and environments look really awesome too. Your eyes will certainly be happy, and so will your ears. This game has a number of remixed and remastered tracks from both classic and recent Mario and Sonic games, and just gotta say they're on like Super Smash Bros quality with the music. Only problem is the actual game itself. It looks and sounds tremendous, but the overall selection of games aren't only lacking in diversification, but they're also lacking in number. There's a total of 10 games, 6 of those 10 just involve tilting the remote to win a race like skiing down a hill or bobsleighing. There are some differences to a few, like one of them gets you to perform a shooting range at certain points of the race, and another one where you have to ride waves of wind to jump as far as possible. Some do stand out, but most of them just feel the exact same. Another 3 of those 10 are waggle games. One of them you have to maintain speed by waggling to a pattern. Another one is figure skating where it gives you a pattern to follow, but waggling when prompted seems to do the job just as well. And then finally there's curling where you kind of bowl like Wii Sports and then waggle the waggling amount required. These 3 get old pretty quick. So that's 9 out of 10 games covered. 6 of them are tilt the remote to win races, and the other 3 are waggle the Wii Remote objective-based games. The final game is actually completely different to anything else. This one being hockey. In hockey there isn't actually any motion control at all. It just plays like any hockey, or in fact football game ever. You just ski around an ice rink, tackle players, pass the puck, shoot. It doesn't have much to it, but it's okay.
Set! Start!
But then there's the dream events. Pretty much just duplicates of the original events, but set in locations from the Mario and Sonic worlds. And these events are my favourite thing about the entire Mario and Sonic series. Most of the games are still just as shallow, but it delivers a lot of nostalgia and fan service that the series should aim to deliver as its primary objective. There's only 8 dream events this time around, but each one of them is actually pretty enjoyable. Without these dream events, Mario and Sonic would be pretty mediocre. Each game is better when played multiplayer, but not to a huge extent. There is online multiplayer for those unable to play locally, but only 4 games are offered, all of them being races and only one of them being a dream event. Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Games just doesn't have a whole lot to offer, and everything it does offer can be done within about half an hour with very little incentive to do it again. There's a few different ways to access the game, such as a medley mode, which just plays a few games back to back, Legends Showdown where you play every single game, though you can save and continue in this mode, so it's not quite as tedious as it sounds. Legends Showdown occasionally allows you to compete against characters that aren't playable in the game, which is just kind of frustrating. The 20 playable characters in Mario and Sonic 2014 are the exact same 20 playable characters since the second game. To actually play as the characters you compete against would have been nice. The only real unlockables in this game are Mii outfits and music tracks. Both aren't bad. In fact, the unlockable music is awesome, but characters would have been nice too. The final mode is Action and Answer Tour, where the regular events have been altered into a quiz show, so you might have to estimate the difference in time between you and your rival, or steer through the correct gate to answer a question. It's a fun distraction from what is otherwise a bland selection of modes, but it doesn't take long for this mode to get old too. Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Games is great fan service, but not a game fans deserve. It's fun on its first run, though after that, it's just kind of boring. Too many games feel the exact same, and the ones that don't just aren't a whole lot of fun. It's not a bad game, it's functional, fun for a couple of rounds of multiplayer, but that's it. Let's hope in 2016, it's Mario and Sonic at the more interesting games. Boom! We're giving Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Games a 5 out of 10.